What's up everybody, it's Joe here and you join me playing F1 to be talking about the new F1 season. Oh, balls. Wow. That was a good start, wasn't it? I can't actually do anything here. Oh dear. That's gone horribly wrong. Is there any way I can restart? Yeah, I can restart. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, in this video I'm going to be discussing the new F1 season which starts this weekend. So anybody who is living in the UK and or Europe, prepare to have your sleep patterns messed up as we go for take 2 at this race. But yes, I'm doing a race around Melbourne because it is where the race is being held this weekend, so it somewhat feels fitting. But yes, a new season of F1 is upon us, and why have I got it doesn't matter. Anyway, so my thoughts for the weekend are as follows. I do think Red Bull this season are going to be a lot closer than people think. I am anticipating a 3-horse fight for the 6th championship this year between Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes, of course. I also feel like Bottas this season might be a little bit closer. He said in interviews that he wants to take the fight to the top 3, so I'm curious to see if he can actually follow that up. I do think, however, the main fight is going to be between Hamilton and Vettel, and with the rivalry hitting the heights it did last season, I'm just wondering, are we going to see any sort of underhandness in parts last season? For those of you who may remember Baku, for instance, when Vettel rammed into Hamilton after a mishap under the safety car. But also, what of McLaren? They have now switched from Honda to Renault and in testing have still experienced a very high number of problems. So is this down more to the chassis than it was the Honda engine? That's the one thing I've been wondering, and while they say they have fixed all their issues, I remain sceptical. I still feel like they may have, especially going into the first few races, a number of issues that they still need to resolve. As for their pace, it's anyone's guess from here really as to where they'll be. A team lineup I'm certainly looking forward to watching this year though is Nico Hülkenberg and Carlos Sainz, who are both at Renault. And we both know that they are very capable drivers that are able to really push through and outdrive their machines. So I wonder, is this going to be the season where Renault show themselves as a bit of a dark horse? Williams is the lineup that, for me, I'm not sure how that's going to fare, to be honest. So they've got a new boy and they've got Stroll, who, while he had his strengths last season, he also had a high number of weaknesses, and that's not a move that's going to go well. And well, I pulled that off. But he was a driver that showed he had a high number of weaknesses last year, and I just wonder if I'm being hit off. I just wonder if he's going to have matured at all going into the new season. But let's talk about the Australian Grand Prix coming up then. Let's do a prediction for the top 3 in qualifying and the top 3 in the race, because I feel like it's going to be interesting, because I'm having to really sort of think about it to really have a clue as to how this is going to work. My prediction for qualifying, I think it's going to be, I'm going to play a bit of a wild card here. I think qualifying will be Hamilton, Ricciardo, Vettel. That's just my guess for the front 3. That could be completely wrong, but I'm going to play a bit of a wild card here. I think Ricciardo's owed some luck in Melbourne as well, so I think that's what we'll see for qualifying. And then the race, I need to think about this one for a second. I'm also catching up to my teammate, who is actually Ricciardo and Bottas at the same time. Wait, no, that's Hamilton. Okay, why's that happened? I didn't even press that button. Disasters occurring left, right, and centre. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, cheers for that, Ocon. Thank you so much for that. Right, what is my race prediction then? My race prediction is going to be Vettel Bottas. Oh, I'm going to need to pit in for a new front wing. My driving in this race has been absolutely terrible. But yeah, that's my front three prediction for the race. Hamilton, Vettel, Bottas. I could be wrong. Maybe I'll be proven as such. Who knows? But I think we're in for a close season this year, and I'm hoping we get a season where it goes down to the wire and it's not resolved with a few races to go. Oh, we got a virtual safety car. I want to see. I don't want to see this season over and done with by, say, USA or Mexico. I want this to go right down to the wire. 21 races, it's a long season. Anything can happen. What am I doing? Well, I apologise for the level of driving in this race because it's absolutely appalling. I've got lots of wing damage already, which is really not helping my case. But those are just my thoughts anyway. What are your thoughts? Do let me know in the live stream. I will be streaming for this entire race that has gone completely to hell. I thought the VSC was ending earlier. Have I shot my bolt too early again? But what are your predictions for the Australian Grand Prix and the rest of the season? I've already said Renault will be the dark horse, McLaren will continue to struggle, and that will be in for a three-horse fight for the championship, but I think it will mainly be between Hamilton and Vettel. Calling a winner, I called it boldly last season in my preview video by saying I thought Hamilton was going to take a fourth title. This year I'm not so sure. Yeah, I want to know what your predictions are. Speaking of Hamilton, he's just pitted in front of me. I've now got a new front wing. And I'm now ready to try and save what I can from this race, which has gone absolutely shaped like a pear. I could have said pear-shaped and, you know, sounded less like a dick, but I didn't. Sue me. The other interesting rule change for this season is that the start of race time, which they've moved by 10 minutes for most races. I'm not quite sure what's inspired that call. Like, that's a particularly bizarre call that I feel they've made. But also, the one thing that's really divided the opinions of the fan base, and I've spoken my opinions on this before, is the Halo device, which is now fitted to every car and has become a mandatory thing. And now this is down to the Jules Bianchi crash, if you remember a few years ago, where he crashed into a tractor which was by the side of the circuit, sustained heavy head injuries, and then died of said injuries several months later. Now since then, they've obviously wanted to bring in more head protection for the drivers, but I've always said, and I've always been very strongly opinionated on this, that the Halo just A, looks ugly, and B, looks impractical. And it's the one thing I'm dreading about playing the 2018 game, is seeing that fucking eyesore on the front of my car. It looks like an eyesore, and it just comes across as impractical to me. Like, I feel like it could cause more problems than it will solve. Like, say a driver has to get out of the car really fast, but something's gone wrong with the device. The driver then gets stranded in the car, and that's terrible driving there. But the driver then gets stranded in the car, and the quick escape plan has gone to hell, and it's just causing more problems. So hopefully that's something they thought about, and that it comes with an easy detachable option or something like that. I just think it's completely impractical and a little bit unnecessary, because the reason for what happened to Bianchi, I don't think was anything to do with lack of head protection, because we've had that for years in F1 and we've never really had that kind of thing. Sorry, we've had it without it for years in F1, and the only time that I've ever seen anything like what happened to Bianchi is obviously when it happened. That wasn't actually down, I don't believe, to the lack of halo device, and I do believe that was more down to the fact that there was no yellow flag out while there was a recovery vehicle. No, sorry, my wording has gone to hell again, I do apologise. My reasons for believing that it wasn't down to the lack of halo, I think it was due to the fact that there was a recovery vehicle by the side of the road while cars were still at speed. This had nothing to do with the weather or the lack of head protection. Granted, the lack of head protection may have helped. Sorry, granted, the head protection may have helped, but I don't know, it just feels like a bit of a ridiculous measure to try and solve a problem which could have been solved by not having a recovery vehicle by the side of the road. That was my gripe with the whole thing anyway. I don't know, I just don't think the halo is a practical idea. But it's one of the more interesting rule changes that we have this season, as well as the fact that I do believe you are now down to having to use 3 engines for the season. Again, I don't know how true that one is, but if that's the case, McLaren, you're screwed. I'm looking at you here. What's in the box below? Or even on this live stream if you do happen to tune in. I'm very interested to read everybody's thoughts on this all. Gap ahead is 5.1 seconds to Verline. I'm really not doing well in this race. But that's my thoughts on it leading into Melbourne anyway. That's my predictions on Melbourne. As for the season, I'm very hesitant to pick a winner. I think I'll look at how the Australian Grand Prix goes and then I'll try and predict a winner for the championship, because with Ferrari looking as good as they do in testing and Red Bull saying they think they're a lot closer, it does make way for an interesting season, and I would like to see a 3-horse race. I would like to see another team getting involved. I would like to see more race winners. You know, and not people just picking up wins when the 2 leaders falter like Baku. You know, I want to see a real fight this season, and I'm hoping we'll get it. I swear I've done more ranting about the halo in this video than I have actually talking about the Australian Grand Prix. I hope we see more overtaking this season. Like last season, it seemed to be a bit professional and processional even. And the way they're trying to combat this is that for the first time in history, they now have a 3rd DRS point, and I'll show you where it is when I get there, because at the moment I'm completely the wrong end of the circuit to demonstrate this. But there is going to be a 3rd DRS point. And I've just realised I'm going slowly because I'm running in lean mix. No wonder this car is so slow. I could get out and walk faster than that. But now we're coming up to it. I'm actually going to display now where the 3rd DRS point is. And I'm just going to take a dive up the inside of Verline. And it is right here. This is where the 3rd DRS point is going to be. An interesting part really, because it's not really that long a stretch to a very fast chicane, so I don't know how in particular that sets it up for overtaking, but hopefully we will see a bit more overtaking than what we saw in last season's race. And we've got another yellow flag out. I do believe that car that's just peeled over is going to come to a grinding halt. Yes, he does. Jolyon Palmer is out of the race. No shit, I saw it happen right in front of me. What do you expect me to do? I'm coming in for some ultra softs. Don't mind bothering with lean mix. I've got way too much fuel. Right, what we're going to see now in these last few laps is absolute bedlam. The internet connection quality not sufficient to broadcast gameplay. Well, that's not my problem, is it? Blame Sky and their shoddy internet. You've got a real treat in store for you now, though, because now we've got some constant action all the way to the finish. If we all catch the safety car, that is. I can't even be bothered to take it off of Rich Mix because I've got too much fuel. Alright, here we go. So it looks like we're going to have a minor sprint for the finish, and given that I'm on ultra soft tyres, we're going to show them how it's done. It's another new thing for this season, a ridiculous number of tyre compounds. In fact, there's so many I can't even remember all their names, and I'm not even going to try to list them all now, but I feel like we now have way too many tyre compounds. Like I said, there's so many now that I can't even be bothered to go through the list. It's that many. It's that extensive. I'm just thinking, how many do you need? I miss the days where you just had the soft and the hard tyres, but no. Now we've got about 10 compounds with so many different names that I'm so confused. I know one of them's Hyper Soft, which is an interesting concept in itself, because we already have ultra softs.
Right, pick up the pace in touch, please. We need to
falling too far back. Go ahead, game, give me a penalty. Oh my god. Well, that was very nearly a nasty crash. I'd like to have as few of those as possible. I'm 16th now, so where can I finish? Oh, I'm gunning a podium here. I am going to gun it and go for a podium. 16th, safety car's out. I'm on fresh ultra softs. What are we going to do here? I think we can get on. I think we can get to third. If we can get blast past these McLarens quickly, we can get into third. Because I'm on a nice fresh set of ultra softs. Granted, I've got way too much petrol. Oh, Van Dorn, you're in my way and you're annoying. You're going annoyingly slow, oh, Van Dorn.
Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap.
Well, I should have stopped wasting time harmonising and actually got on with it, because we're about to go racing again. Alright, this is where it gets interesting.
We have 5 laps of fuel.
I don't know what you think you're doing, why is my car ghosting? Can my car stop ghosting, please? Oh, come on, just drop it already. Let's go. Ah. Right, let's get past him now. There we go. That's 1. Can we get up to third? I'm calling this Operation Blast for Podium. Oh, look at that, look at that. We've got the perfect exit. Look at him, he's not even He's got nothing to stop us. Oh, that was lucky that wasn't contact. We've performed a double overtake. 13th now we're in. Where can we end up? We've got, like I said, these fresh Ultra Softs working in our favour. We're on rich mix. Let's do this. Grosjean is next. Holy crapola, that's my race done. I've got wing damage. Oh, that's my blast for the podium over. I do have wing damage after that. I was not expecting that to happen, but that has happened, and well, I'm still going to give it everything I got. Kvyat's car just going really slowly there. Oh, look at Hamilton getting all feisty on the rear of what I think is Lance Stroll. It is, and yeah, I've got nothing. There's nothing more at this point I can do because I've got front wing damage. So what could have been a great finish is now not even going to be points. Right, I just have way too much damage. And if anything, holding this position is going to prove to be hard. I've got no steering. I have no steering. The car's not turning. I have no steering, and Magnus is now going through. I'm not having that. No, I'm not having that. Magnussen can get back behind me. I'm not going to be able to stop in time. Now I've got Van Dorn right behind me. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Well, this is not a masterclass in how to drive. This is more... Oh my god, the car won't turn. I know I've got damage, but that takes the piss. So yeah, let's just summarise then and just talk about what we were discussing. I reckon Red Bull are going to be a lot closer, but the main fight is still going to be Hamilton versus Vettel, and I can't even call a winner just yet. But I think we are in for an exciting season, and I hope we see more overtakes in this race than we did last season. In fact, now I've got Verline coming at me. I should explain to anyone who's just joined that I do have a lot of damage, and that my car is just genuinely done, and that's another car going slowly. Oh, Kvyat, are you really going to do this? Oh my god, he boxed me in. What an actual twat. What an actual... I get a warning for a collision. I'm not taking responsibility for that. That is ridiculous. We're on the last lap now, but yeah, that's how I think it's going to go down. What are your predictions? Do let me know. Get involved in the discussion, and I hope this season we see a great season of racing. And I want to see it go down to the wire this time. I want to see it go down to the last race. I don't want to see it done by, say, Mexico or America. Let's have a good old-fashioned down-to-the-wire contest. And hopefully we'll see that. But that's all my thoughts for now, and we're going to conclude this race by finishing a disappointing 15th. So that's not the race I've wanted to have. In fact, quite the opposite. I'm a bit cheeky corner cut because I want to try and get Verline back. And that's not worked for me. Well, this race went bad, but I hope you've enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Let me know what your thoughts are coming into this season, and yeah, let's get discussing. Melbourne is this weekend. Set your alarm clocks if you are in Europe, or if you're in America and they need setting, or pull an all-nighter. I don't know, your choice. Thank you for watching this video, and until the next time, it is goodbye from me. I am signing off.